Hello and welcome back to our channel. I am just slowly starting to get ready for my afternoon shift, but I decided I wanted to have my greens and hydrate because I'm just going to be sitting waiting for my individual. So I am making a sugar-free lemonade, a sweet lemon, sweet lemon? Yeah, sweet lemon super greens, mixed with a sour cherry hydration from Clean Simple Eats. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the kindness being mistaken for being rude or being, as people say, ableist. I was having a discussion the other day with an individual, and they kind of just were talking about how, someone held the door open for them. They're in a wheelchair, or they use a wheelchair for their mobility, and they were talking about how someone opened the door for them and they felt that it was taking away their independence because said individual didn't ask if they wanted the door held open for them, didn't say anything, just held the door open, whatever. And I don't know why, but that kind of bothers me because it's an act of kindness. I don't feel like people holding the door open for anyone, whether it's a person with a disability or someone without a disability, I feel like it's just an act of kindness. And personally, I feel like we have to look at things in the perspective of, maybe that person that held the door open, was returning the favor because someone else did it for them. Maybe they had a bad day and thought holding the door open would boost their own serotonin. And I think as disabled individuals, we really have to look at it in the perspective of they're not having pity or an ableist perspective because they're holding the door open or because they're asking if we need help. Our society and our world has never been and will never be accessible, but we have to use our own voice to make our world, like our bubble where we live, accessible for us. That doesn't mean that once we leave our home and go out in public, that other places are going to be accessible, that other people are going to be on the same page as us. And that's just life. We have to learn how to adapt to the world that we are living in right now. And if that means using our voices to try to get our needs met, then so be it. We have to do that. But I don't think that belittling, complaining, and bashing people for trying to make even just one second of our day better by holding the door, by asking if we need help with something or whatever it may be, that is such a minuscule thing in our life that it should not affect us to the point that we are getting so upset and saying that everyone around us who doesn't have a disability is being ableist and just doesn't see us as a person. At the end of the day, whether or not you have a disability, you're a human being. And you are the only person who knows what your needs are and can advocate for yourself. But we cannot blame or bash others around us because they don't see that perspective. They can't. They never will see our perspective because they're not in our shoes. And that's valid. Both sides are valid. But I think that we need to come together and work as a team instead of constantly having these sides of, well, I'm disabled and can't do X, Y, and Z versus able-bodied person, doing all these things. No, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We need to do what we can to work together and support one another. That's the only way we can ever lift each other up. Um, yeah. Sorry. I had to go temporarily for work. I had to deal with some stuff. But like I was saying, I feel like we have to have a thicker skin. Being born with a disability, our life is already hard. Maybe hard's not the right word, but we have challenges that we face every day. We have struggles that many around us don't see. And I feel like we need to have thicker skin to get through day-to-day stuff, because so many of the things that are ableist are so minuscule. There are just so many more important things that should be our top priority day to day. And I think that a lot of that also comes down to the assumptions that are made with disabled people, which is that, at least in my experience, and I'll probably get some hate for this, but whatever. Most want things handed to them. They want to take the easy route. They don't want things to be harder. They don't want to challenge themselves, push their limits, push their abilities. They just want society and those around them to just give them the easy way out, give them what they want, give them their answers, make things accessible right away. And that's not how this world works, and it never will be. And so one of the things that I'm just most grateful for is how my parents raised me. From an early age, they raised me to push myself. We went hiking, they pushed me to challenge, like climbing on rocks and falling, and how am I going to get myself back up? They kept me integrated in the school. Yeah, there were certain times like study hall or tests that I was in a quieter room, separate than my peers, but we made those changes as needed based on my needs. But we used we used our voices. And that is honestly the only way that we can be the change we want to see in the world, is by using our voice. And I know that's easier said than done. There's always going to be the other side that is going to push back, and I get that, but I just don't understand the alienating that is happening in the disability community, the cliques that are going on, the not disabled enough versus too disabled, whatever. I don't get it. And honestly, it's quite frustrating because, yeah, I was born with a disability. Is mine as severe as others? No. But that doesn't mean that I'm not disabled. I still have spina bifida. I still have my level of L5S1, but I was able to push myself. I was able to rise above the challenges that I have faced so far in life. And that is how I choose to see things, is that I can rise above them. I can use my voice and my words to get my needs met. I think that there needs to be a further discussion on this because it's frustrating. It is so frustrating to hear disabled individuals say that um, well, they're just belittling my needs because they open the door for me, because they don't have a ramp in front of the restaurant, the store, whatever it is. And that's totally not what it is. Most places, they're not familiar with disability, so you can't expect them to be accommodating and um, accessible from the start because they don't know. We have to talk to them. We have to say, hey, I frequent your store, or even something as simple as saying, hey, thank you for holding the door for me, but I am able to get it. You're at least being kind about it. You're acknowledging that that person was doing a random act of kindness. Um, I mean, if you feel like you need to say something, yeah, you could say, I appreciate you holding the door for me, but, maybe next time let me do it. Something nice. I don't know. But if it were me, I literally would just say thank you and move on with my day because great, they held the door open for me. I mean, I've literally stood at a door holding it for people for like 5 minutes. It's literally not that much. You shouldn't read into it just because someone holds the door open for you. But at the end of the day, just believe in yourself, use your voice, be kind, try to work together, and let's see how we can make this world a better place for both disabled people and non-disabled. Because we all deserve to be able to rise above all of our challenges without having to feel like we're fighting all the time with other people. That's not a life we need to be living. So if you haven't already, please comment. If you have anything to add to this conversation, please subscribe. Anything you can do. But I think I'm going to continue this conversation. I just got to kind of process it a little bit more. So we will see you next time. Thanks, guys. This is completely off topic for this video today, but if you are local to the Madison surrounding area, I am participating in Disability Pride, the Disability Pride Fest that is being hosted this weekend on Saturday at Warner Park, and I will be there selling my book. If you want to, come check it out. And if you're not local but would like more information on my book, please feel free to comment below or reach out directly to me on social media. Yeah, but if you do happen to be local or in the area and are available to come, please come check us out and say hi.